All right, Business Owner Moms edition, or Time for Success Business Owner Moms edition. And I got to get on the radio, so. All right, this is Time for Success Business Owner Moms edition. And we have a very special guest today, Amanda LaPlante. Some of the people on the radio here probably already know her. She's got a great radio show here, Get Real to Heal. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so Get Real to Heal is, it's my chance to get the word out about the fact that, I found myself a few years ago on a lot of medications, 50 pounds overweight, and just really not being the mom or the person that I wanted to be in life. Yeah. And I found that through diet and lifestyle changes, I was able to get off of those medications, lose the weight, and get back to life. And so Get Real to Heal is kind of my mission. And it's my mission to get the word out about the things that people can do to take back their health and take back their lives.
Yeah. Well, that's phenomenal. Well, we in the Business Owner Dads edition this week, it was one of the things that were brought up by the Mo, who was the individual. I introduced you guys as you walked out the door, but that was one of the key things he said that he struggles with as well, because he's trying to balance family, and he's got a very interesting, unique family situation, and then he's got two businesses, and then it's, that health part just kind of falls to the wayside. So
I get that. Yeah. And what's so tough about that is, though, whenever you're giving in so many different areas of your life, you really need to make sure that you're filling yourself up first, right? Because an empty vessel can't pour out, that kind of thing.
Filling yourself with healthy things, though, right?
Oh my gosh. Well, and that's the trick, right? Is knowing what's healthy.
Right.
Because healthy is different for each person. And
That's
so
true.
I really spend a lot of time helping people to get in tune with that with their body.
Yeah.
Based on a variety of factors from genetics and so on.
That's so key, I think, because we hear all these things. We hit the Google, what's healthy and what's not, and how many times have we heard that eggs are healthy, or they're not healthy, or I don't know where they're at again today, but maybe you've got some insights on eggs. But
sure, always insights on lots of things, and,
right.
And really, it's just bio-individuality. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, each
Everyone
person has
different.
a unique genetic code, unique history. Heck, just
microbiome, like all kinds of wonderful big science terms that we could throw out there.
Yeah.
It's being a health detective is my favorite part of the job.
Right.
So so in my job, besides the radio show, I'm an integrative health coach.
Yeah.
So work with a lot of different integrative practitioners, different types of doctors and holistic practitioners to help people get back to feeling themselves.
So when you say integrative health coach, obviously some of your listeners who might be listening know what you're talking about, but a lot of other people might not.
Sure.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, so, have you gone to the doctor before and they've been like, if you just made these little changes, it would make all the difference in the world, right?
Yeah.
And then you go home and you're like, okay, I know what I need to do now. How the heck do I do it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm that person that can step in and be kind of the guide on the side or a mentor. To be able to help people to put small, sustainable steps into action, and over a course of time, be able to take massive changes in their health based on these small, sustainable steps. A health coach is just that, a coach for your health.
Well, that's we watch these sports teams, these multi-millionaires who go out there and allegedly they're the best at what they do, but yet they still have coaches. And most of us are not the best at what at health in the first place, and we try to figure it all out on our own. And so having somebody who is an expert, who can be, that one that trains you, teaches you, it's got to make all the difference in the world.
And someone who's been there.
Right.
I found myself 4 years ago, like I said, in a really bad place where I had actually 16 or 18 prescriptions at the time that I was taking. 7 autoimmune diseases I've been diagnosed with over the past 20 years. And I was seeing all these specialists and doctors, and nobody could really tell me what to do. They just said, here, take a pill for that. And so I really, at that point, when I decided, okay, this isn't sustainable, they were saying go on a disability and like, this isn't going to get better.
Yeah.
And I just really didn't believe my body was meant to break down that way.
Yeah.
I think we're beautifully and wonderfully created and designed. And I was like, it's got to be something I'm eating, something I'm doing. I had this hope. Anyway, so when I kind of figured out like, okay, there's this thing called functional medicine or integrative medicine, and diet and nutrition do make a difference, and managing your stress does make a difference in your health. All those kind of things started coming to mind. I thought, well, how do I do that? Because I don't know how to cook. I was direct report at the time to a CEO of a company that was on the Inc. 5000 list for now their 9th year, I believe. So high stress job, and also trying to be a mom. And it was like, okay, well, where do I even start with this? So I've been there. I've been in the trenches and had to learn how to cook, go to a health food store for the first time, and it felt like going to Mars, little things like that. So yeah, being able to have somebody to step in and do those things with you that first time out, especially as a busy professional, can be really, really helpful and life-changing.
Well, yeah, because first of all, you should never go to the store when you're hungry, and then you should, if you're trying to change your diet, it's hard to go to the store and not just keep doing the same habits of going down the same aisles and having all these the ho-hos calling your name, and the Twinkies, and oh man, so having somebody be like, slap your hand. No, I'm sure you don't slap your hand.
Not so much that. Not so much that.
Maybe that's not a good choice.
Right.
You can make a better choice.
Well, and it's like, and to understand why, like to be able to really talk about that and have somebody's brain to pick, because you don't get that kind of time with your doctor.
Right. I mean, you're in and out.
They don't have an hour to sit and explain, okay, let's talk about inflammation. Let's talk about how the body works when you put sugar in, what happens, things like that.
Right.
So it's like, okay, we can do that.
Yeah, sometimes understanding kind of the why behind it helps out so much.
A lot, I think. And you hit on an important word too, the why. So getting to that person's why, that's another aspect of what I do, is help them in terms of, it's a little bit of life coaching, right? But digging in and getting to the point of why, and keeping that focus in mind as we set those small sustainable goals, because that makes it a lot easier to put down the Twinkie. Right.
Put down that Twinkie. Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about your family, because you're an entrepreneur and you're a family person. So. Yeah,
absolutely. So my husband Andy and I have been married for 14 years. Our marriage is a constant work in progress.
As it should be.
Yeah, it should be, and it is work.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times we enter into marriage and we go, it's all about the wedding and the dress and then, all this stuff.
Right.
And then we
I
get
know, I
into
was
it
all
and we're
about the
like,
dress.
you were totally, weren't you? I bet you looked fabulous.
Fabulous.
I know.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So, but I think a lot of times we have this fairy tale image of what that's supposed to be like, and we get down in the trenches and we're like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But we have a very happy marriage. We've worked very hard at for the last 14 years. I also have a son, Anson. He's almost 12, which is amazing to me because it just went by so fast.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. I've got a 13-year-old, and just looking back at the time, well, I mean, that was kind of a big pull for me, a big why for me in terms of going out and starting my own consulting and business and this podcast and everything, and the whole Time for Success is because we're constantly trying to manage our time, and if we really focused on the success principles first, then everything else would fall into place. So that's a key element of it, because you only have so much time.
You do. And when I studied at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, there was the founder of the school did this wonderful demo that you probably talk with people about, big rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, now he used a cylindrical glass, and he had several oranges, navel oranges, that he put into the glass, and then he poured in a bunch of hazelnuts, right?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't all fit.
Yeah.
As long as, the hazelnuts went in first, the oranges wouldn't fit, right? But if we put the big rocks, the oranges in first, and then pour the hazelnuts on top, everything fills in beautifully and it all fits.
Right.
And so the point was, what are your big priorities in life? What are your big goals? When you look back later, what's going to have mattered? And then all those other little things that come throughout the day don't seem like such a big deal anymore. We can fit those all in. But anyway,
well,
one of my big rocks, it is. I think it helps. It really helped me, just to see that visual. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I, for years, had been a person who had not put those big rocks in order. I was always focused on career, focused on things like that. And I really didn't, family planning and some of the other goals in life would kind of go by the wayside if I wasn't careful.
Right.
So, anyway.
Yeah, well, so you've got a 12-year-old son, and marriage is a work in progress, and you've got your business, and you've got your radio show, and you've got all these responsibilities. So when you're looking at your day or your week or your year, and you're looking at your oranges,
My oranges.
yeah. How do you break those oranges up into some actionable steps?
Oh, that's a good question, Matt. I think it just takes stepping back and, well, first off, I start every day by meditating.
That's huge. Yeah, gets you in a good place.
Yeah, and staying in that, I practice mindfulness a lot.
Great.
And so I find that when I'm taking the time to breathe and to be centered and present in every moment, I'm able to much easier make those good decisions that keep the priorities in line. And as I mentioned, I've got a 12-year-old, and I see now how fast time can move.
Yeah.
The days are long, but the years are short.
Yeah.
And so I try to take extra time to be there and be present.
That's good.
I think that's first.
Yeah, definitely. So whenever you, so like for myself, like my 12-year-old, we schedule kind of more, or my 13-year-old, sorry. My 13-year-old, we schedule some bigger special events on a daily basis. She's got homework, and sometimes it's kind of hard, and she's kind of at that stage where she's not really all that conversational. She's quieter, so trying to do that myself, and then my 4-year-old, I either play with her in the bathtub every day. I'm not in the bathtub with her, but she's in the bathtub, and I'm playing My Little Ponies. But and just to clarify, or play Barbies or something with her, which I come home and I'm like, I've been playing Barbies all day, which she doesn't get. My last name's Barbie, just Anyway, yeah. So, what are some of those things that you do to kind of protect some of that time on a daily or a weekly basis, however you're able to manage it right now, but just that you're protecting that for each of those important relationships in your life?
Yeah, so I think blocking off time is important.
Yeah, time blocking.
It can be really, time blocking is great, and it can be really important to not only block off, the tasks that you've got to do for work or whatever else in the day, your appointments and things like that. Make family time an appointment. Yeah.
That's good, because, we put on our calendar the things we prioritize, right? And
that can tell you a lot about a person.
Yeah. I think my pastor said it once, something about, show me your calendar and I'll tell you what you prioritize in life, or what's priorities in your life. And so you put that family time on your calendar is what you're saying.
It's a good idea. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then I make dates with my son and with my husband.
Good.
So for instance, today, my son's got his first middle school dance on Thursday. So we've got to go get hair done, right? Like get a haircut. We're going to go shopping. And, just things like that. And I asked him, a couple days ago, I was like, hey, on Tuesday, I don't have any, events. I'm blocking off time for you. I don't have any work events. I want to take you shopping, and I want to go do something with you. And he's like, okay, yeah, cool.
Good.
Other things I do are, I run a networking group every Friday in Rock Hill. And I've committed to being the leader of that group every week, right? But once a month, my son is off school on Fridays. And on that Friday, someone else fills in for me and steps in, and I block off that time with him.
Okay.
And, we go to the movies, or we do something that he wants to do. So, again, just kind of looking at those priorities, because I only have so many years with him.
Right.
So that's number one right now.
Well, that's good. And you hit upon something there, delegation, which of course is a key aspect that we hit upon a lot. But it's interesting because you're talking about like a networking group, which is, part of a team that you lead, but it's not necessarily like employees of yours, right? They're just other professionals who value networking as a business development tool that they use. And so, does that have its own unique challenges of making sure that somebody is there to help lead it?
I think it does, and I think that, mainly when I formed that group, I was looking for people that not only wanted to build their own business, but really valued building others' business and building others up.
Yeah.
And
all boats rise.
All boats rise together.
Right.
Absolutely. And so looking at that dynamic and trying to find people who were leaders in that way.
That's good.
And we built a really successful group that way. So,
That's great.
So, and it's great because it's an opportunity for, me to spend time with my son, but it's also an opportunity for them to get more time on stage, if you will, time in front of the group and become even better known. So I'm always looking for people that are interested in those kinds of opportunities to, again, help them rise as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So you've got people who are pretty committed. Culturally, you've kind of built in the importance of lifting others up and being there for each other.
Being a servant leader.
Right. So I think there's a cultural aspect to what you're talking about, that you found the right people and you can develop that servant leadership within them. And so that makes it a lot easier for you to delegate. Would that be fair, to delegate that leadership of the meeting?
Absolutely. It's, that's the why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of, life hacks, business hacks, it's one of these areas that I really love to hit upon. Can you think of any life hacks? So, for example, we've had people do meal prep for them, in business, and we were talking a little bit about delegating your networking group. But are there any specific tools that maybe you use to make life a little bit easier? Being a nutritionist, anything that being a health coach. Is there anything that potentially like an app or something like that makes it easier to track, that important aspect in your life? Can you share it? I mean, I know maybe it's a secret, but
no, I think it's all everything is an open book with me.
Right.
Okay. There's no such thing as team I eat, or so there's that. But there are a few things. I use an app in my practice called Healthy. It can be a really great tool to help people keep track of their goals, their metrics, their challenges, things like that, resources. It's kind of pulling all of that in. So when you said app, that brought that to mind, because that's been a huge tool not only for me, but also for them, for my clients. But another thing that comes to mind is Calendly. Calendar links and being able to sync all of that up and because I don't know how, as a business owner, do you spend a lot of time like going back and forth with people about, well, I can meet at such and such, but not here, but not there, and this day, and oh my gosh, and scheduling meetings can be really draining. So that's been a huge efficiency tool. I think that's been good.
So on Calendly, so I do have some pet peeves on Calendly. I have a Calendly account and I will use it. However, I know that some people who they say, hey, let's get together, and then I instantly get a Calendly link. Right? I'm like, okay, so you just put all of it on me to take care of, right? So how do you position it so that people still feel like, you value the relationship, and it's not kind of like here you go take care of that.
Right. No.
I mean,
well, and that also, I feel like sometimes when I would have that happen to me, right? When people at first would send me their Calendly link, it's like, oh, well, is your time more important than mine?
Right.
You're busier than I am, like.
Right.
So it is important to navigate those waters carefully, because you always want to make sure that person feels as important as they are. But I think usually it's just a matter of efficiency and just saying, hey, and I will actually ask people do you have a Calendly link sometimes, or do you have an Acuity scheduling? And if they do, great, I'm more than happy to go and hop in on theirs. Yeah. But if not, I'll tell them about the tool that I have.
Right.
And usually it's like, and if you position it right, it's like, hey, this might be really helpful for you too. This has saved me so much time. I hope it's okay that I send this to you. Yeah. So using those communication skills. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I like how you kind of ask, hey, can you send me your Calendly link and I'll take care of it. Right. That's an interesting way of kind of sliding it in there. You're saying, hey, I'll take it all on me. Oh, you don't have that? Well, that's great. Would you be open to that? So that's good.
I think that's a good tool in most areas of life, though, right? Usually if there's something that you want that other person, you kind of mirror that, if you will. Right. Yeah. Kind of turn it around. It's like, okay, I can help with this.
Yeah. The way that I've done it is I kind of have like a template email, because again, it's good to have those kind of templates and efficiencies and all that. And it kind of even evolved into a 4-point. It was a 3-point, and then it's a 4-point email where I say, hey, love to get together. Here's 4 suggestions and ways that we can get together. First, I've got these windows open. Second, if it's easier for you to just go on my Calendly link here. Third, or send me some dates that you have. And then fourth is, or just give me a call. And so it kind of gives them the options of,
Yeah.
I put an effort, you can, what if that doesn't work for you, then you send me back. And so I don't know, that's mine.
Always inviting for the call too.
Right.
Always open to the call. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because some people just they don't technology well, right? They don't do the IT thing. So sometimes you just kind of just get on the phone and do that.
Absolutely.
So you've got you said it's Healthy is the app.
Yeah,
Right.
Healthy, HEALTHIE. So if anyone in the nutrition,
okay.
dietitian, health coach field is looking for a great tool, I love Healthy. Let me know. I'll send you my link, and then we both
nice.
win.
Oh,
so,
hey, there you go.
Yeah, referrals are great with Healthy. So yeah,
awesome
tool.
Okay, well, good. So so how do they? Well, I mean, I get into this a little bit easier, but you just already said, the Healthy link. If they want that information, what is a good way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I mean, always open to the call, right? So 314-583-6749, my personal cell.
All right.
Anytime, text me, call me. I'm
great.
always open.
Now this will probably be seen by millions, so
I'm sure it will.
So you mean it'll just blow up. So so you could. I can't. Oh, you can.
That's all right. I give out my phone number every week on the air, so it's
that's
totally
right.
fine.
Right, yeah.
I am wide open.
Right.
And I love people. I love connecting, so I'm totally open to that. They can also email me, Amanda@AmandaLaPlante.com.
Okay.
So LAPLANTE.
And we can circle back around on that again. But since you talked about that, I want to make sure that people knew how to get that tool if they wanted a little bit more information or to pick your brain on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so kind of circling back around, when we talk about success in our life, there's a lot of different factors. A lot of people define that differently. So what is that perfect image of success for you in your life?
Oh, you ask good questions. Okay. And this is interesting because these are the kind of questions that I ask my clients all the time. So it's like, oh, I'm in the hot seat.
Turn the tables.
Yeah, right. I think relationships are first and foremost. If I can be a person that has touched a lot of lives and it made them better.
That's great.
In any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That's success for me. Much to my husband's chagrin at times, because he's very, now he loves that too, right? But his love language is things and money, right?
Okay.
Mine is, communication and time together. So you guys familiar with the love languages, right?
That's a great point to hit on. Explain love languages a little bit, because there's folks out there who don't actually get that. That can go ahead.
Totally. So, and of course, top of my head, I'm losing the author's name, but there's a great book, The 5 Love Languages. I do actually use one of the tools from that book in my practice to help people around relationships, because as I said, my marriage has been a work in progress. Love him dearly and we're very happy, but it's a constant work, right, in a marriage. So anyway, the 5 love languages are basically just, there's kind of a quiz that I give people, and you can look through that and see what matters to someone and how they can feel appreciated. So, some people, it's things. They like to have gifts. They receive gifts, and that works for them. Some people, it's acts of service. So if you're doing something for someone else, then they feel loved and appreciated. For some, it's time. Time is the most valuable commodity for them. And so spending time with them, giving them attention, that makes them feel loved. So anyway, there's these different ways that you can make somebody feel valued and appreciated. And if you have 2 people that are on different planes with that, where one of them is about things, the other one's about words of appreciation, they can be both doing wonderful things for that partner, but they're missing the mark because the things they're doing don't matter to that person. So anyway, I think that's something you can apply in multiple areas of life with people, really understanding their personality type and their motivations can help a lot.
So if you've ever actually done, to the audience, if you've ever actually done something for somebody and they didn't seem to appreciate it, it wasn't necessarily that what you did wasn't valued, but it was more so that maybe you were following the platinum rule, right? Treat other people how they want to be treated. And so really understanding what is important to them, right? And so I love how you use that in your practice.
Totally, I do. And in my life, a good example of that was a few years ago, my husband, we were kind of in transition. I had been sick for a bit, so we had a lot of medical bills, a lot of things going on. And with that, and we were kind of trying to figure some things out. And so for me, I was like, kind of holding on to money very tightly and so on. And there was a Christmas where he bought me a diamond tennis bracelet during the midst of that. And I just looked at him like, are you nuts? To him, that couldn't have been a more precious and valuable gift because, money was tight at the time, and he spent a lot of it on this lovely gift for me, but I'm not a things person.
Right.
And so to me, I just looked at him and I was like, oh my gosh, are you nuts? And then I felt terrible because I realized, later what had happened there. And after we'd gone through some counseling and I'd learned about 5 love languages. And to me, all I really wanted was time and words of appreciation. And so he was like, wow, that's way easier and less expensive than what I've been doing.
But more valuable because time is the only thing. Because time is the only thing that we can ever make more of, right?
It's true. But yeah, and so for me, I was getting him like little gifts and no big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for being on the show. And again, how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so AmandaLaPlante.com. It's LAPLANTE. And you can reach me on Facebook.com/GetRealToHeal and also 314-583-6749.
Thanks, Matt Barbie. Time for Success, Business Owner Moms. All right. That was fun. Thanks, everybody, for watching. You want to say hi, Amanda?
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.